All right, this is a follow-up video for the Lensfocus mini camera 007. I've had a couple questions about it. A couple people don't have the manuals or have lost the manuals. The manual's kind of confusing with it anyhow. I'm still using the camera. I think it's still a good body camera. The video quality could be better, but... So I'm going to go over the camera first, then I'll go inside and go on the computer and show you how to change the SD card settings. The one really bad thing about this thing is if you wanted to actually timestamp the system, you actually have to go into the SD card before you use it and change the time and the date. I don't like that at all. The other thing is there's a video quality setting on here that you can actually increase the video, but you have to again go into the SD card and change some settings on that. Again, I'll show you how to do that once I go over the outside of the camera and the functions of it. So if you look at the side of the unit, the first thing you have is an LED indicator. The second is the power button or the video recording after you turn the power on. The next button down would be for audio recording and to turn off the indicator lights. The last button down there is for taking a picture or motion detection. So then you've got the SD card here, you've got the USB port on the side of it. On the back, these are actually magnets, so you could stick this to something metal if you wanted to. And then the microphone is actually located on the other side. The factory reset button is on this side, same size as the microphone. They look similar. Don't stick a paper clip in the microphone, poke a hole in it. Make sure you use the actual reset button. So when you first get this thing, the first thing you want to do is put in your SD card. Bullseye. And as you can see, the SD card is spring loaded, so make sure you don't shoot yourself in the eye. It's a whole different video. So you would insert your SD card into here first. We're going to plug it in the computer, and again I'll show you how to set up the SD card, format the SD card, and then you'll be ready to record. So to use the camera, with the indicator lights to your left, press and hold the first button. You'll notice the indicator lights light up. That's the power button, it's also the video recording button. It says to click the button one time to start video recording. I've noticed if you don't wait for about 5 or 10 seconds for it to fully power on, it'll just shut itself back on, shut itself back off. So basically once it's on for about 10 seconds, press that button one time. The blue lights will start flashing and you know you're recording video. To pause or stop it, you just click it one more time. The indicators go back to solid. Turn the power off, press and hold the first button again, power goes off. So while we're powered on, the next button over is the audio recording. So if you just want to record audio only, if you press and hold this button for about 1 second, you'll notice the indicator starts flashing different colors. So they're flashing green. Right now it's only recording audio. So if you just wanted to record audio, stick this in your pocket, you can record audio. It'd be good for a classroom, a meeting, something like that where you want to remember the information but don't want to sit there and take notes. Again, one click, it'll stop, it goes back to the 3 lights ready. For motion detection, the last button is either a still picture or motion detection. If you press it once quickly, it takes a picture. You'll notice the lights turn green and then back to blue. So basically it's taking still shots every time you click it. If you want to record in motion, you press and hold for about 3 seconds. And just like when you're recording regular video, when you let go, it'll start flashing again. So it's going to record in 1 minute segments if there's motion. If there's motion continually moving, it'll do like the regular video, it'll record a 5-minute segment. After 1 minute, if it doesn't pick up any motion, it'll wait until something moves and then it'll record for another minute and then wait for something to move again. So it'll only record when something moves in the room. So the last thing you want to do is possibly turn off the LED indicator, because if this is flashing and you're trying to be discreet about recording, blue flashing lights is probably not the best thing for you to do. To turn off the LED indicators, if you press and hold the record button for the audio, it turns off the LED indicators. Turn it back on, same thing, you push it again, the LEDs come back on. The only thing with them being off with this unit is you can't really tell whether you're recording still, whether it's not recording. Makes it a little more difficult to actually navigate because there's no other features on here besides these LEDs to tell you what's going on. So again, middle button turns on and off the LED indicators. Let's stop recording. Quick summary. One time records video. Middle button records audio. Last button, click it single time, does a still shot. Click and hold, puts it in motion mode. So on your SD card setup, what you want to do is plug this into your computer using a USB cord. If your computer does not detect it right away. Some computers will pick it up, like mine. I've got it set so when the first time you pop this in, it'll ask you what to do. I've got mine set to open the files automatically. If not, what you need to do is go to your File Explorer, and you'll have to go to Files, and you'll have to find on the left-hand side, go to like Desktop, and then down here below you'll have a Windows Drive C, Drive D. Drive D is where my camera's pulled up at. So there's my photos, my recording, that's everything we just did outside there. So there's my video recording and my audio recording. So I'm in here now. This is where you would format your hard drive or your SD card if it was new. So if you just bought the SD card, you just bought the unit, there would be none of these folders here. What you have to do is right click on where it says USB drive. You would click Format. When you do this, make sure you format it as an eFAT drive, or if you have a choice, eFAT32. Some do, some don't. Some of the older SD cards give you the option. Some of the new ones are 64. This has to be in a 32 format or it will not record on it. Once you do that, you can name it if you want, and then you want to hit start, and that'll basically erase all the data that was on there. And then your camera itself will actually put these folders in here for you. So when you plug it into the camera, when you turn the camera on next time, it automatically puts these folders in for you. So down here at the bottom, you've got a set time. When you double click on this, it opens up a notepad. Pretty generic, old school programming. Basically, every day you went in to record this, you're gonna have to go in here and change the date from whatever it is. This one's default 8/21/2020 at 18:28 p.m. So that's like 5:28 p.m. You would actually have to go in here and change the date to 2021 01 02 or whatever the date would be at the time. It's 09, I think. And then you would have to change the timestamp also. When you do that, you hit save, and that will save your videos with the correct time on them. If not, it's going to record whatever time was set in that card. The second thing on here is the settings. If you double click on the settings, you're going to see three numbers up here. You're going to see a 011 or a 111. So up here where the numbers are, there's a space in between the numbers. You probably will have 011 from default. The first number basically indicates that the camera's going to record in 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second. If you change that to a 1 like I did, it actually changes the resolution to 1920 by 1080p at 30 frames per second. So you actually increase your resolution of your video by changing this first number here. The second number is for the looping. 1 is on, 0 is off. So basically when it gets to the end of the memory card, it starts over and starts writing over top of itself. And the third number is the timestamp. So if you actually want the timestamp on your video, you put a 1 there and the timestamp will actually be on the corner of the video. So if you did not want that on there, you would make it 110 and you would hit the save button. So when your video records, there will be no timestamp on there. And if you're not going to change the time and date every day, that's probably a good setting to pop in there so you're not having to see why it says October the 8th every single day for eternity. So after we get all that onto the SD card, basically we unconnect it from the computer, we power it on. The first time you power it on, it takes the information that we just typed in there with the numbers we changed, with the time and date stamp, and it'll actually put it onto the unit. So it'll have the correct time and date on it, it'll have the new settings for the high resolution and the timestamp off. So hopefully that answers some more questions that people had about this one. Again, I've had this camera for a few months now. I'm quite happy with it. The clip's pretty good, hasn't broken on me yet. It's lightweight. Again, it's not really, I think when I did the demonstration video, I clipped it on the top of my shirt. If you got a pocket, it's much better in a pocket. You can clip it to your belt loop if you wanted to. You can clip it in your front pants pocket. You can clip it in a shirt pocket. Again, if you're a lady wearing this, you can put it on your V-neck. It fits fine. It is a little heavy, so if your shirt's not tight, it will sag down and droop a little bit. So just got to keep that in mind. But again, overall, pretty happy with the camera. One last thing is I will try to put a link in the description below to where you can actually download the instruction manual for this. It was kind of hard to find. Amazon will not let the vendor post anything from their website onto Amazon for obvious reasons, because they would just sell it straight to you for less money.